What's up, family? Welcome to Everything OG. You know what I mean? It's the crate digging show. The show about vinyl records. Giving our top records of the day, of the week, of the year. What's up? My name is Deviant the Digger, Mr. Everything OG.
And I'm the B double.
Yes, sir. And this time on Everything OG, this particular episode, I think we should honor James Brown. James Brown.
Godfather of Soul.
Woo-hoo!
Mr. Dynamite.
Yeah.
Hard working. So fresh.
Yes. You cannot be a vinyl digger. I mean, a person that collects records.
Shit, you can't like music.
Yeah, music. and I love James Brown and collect some of his records. So this is our time to tell you our favorite James Brown records.
And James Brown associated.
Oh, yes, that too. And real quick, Mr. B-Dub, Mr. Building Block, Instagram's finest. Tell me how you got into James Brown. You know what I mean? Let me
I'm gonna keep it simple, man.
How you get to James Brown, man?
Parents' collection. I think
tell me
that's
about
how everybody got into it.
Uh-huh.
My old man, he had James Brown 45s. He had the James Brown records. And it would come on the radio, you know. Hot Pants, Feel Good. Papa Got a Brand New Bag. You know, all those classics. And then, you know, he had the record, he'd play them and he'd get in the floor and him and my mom would dance and do the James Brown and the Camel Walk and Electric Boogaloo or whatever. You know, maybe not the Electric Boogaloo. But, you know, they would just get down and we'd be kids and everything. And it was infectious, man.
Yeah.
You can't front on James, man.
You cannot front on James Brown. My story's a little different in terms of how I got into James Brown because my parents didn't play as much James as other artists. But hip-hop got me into James Brown.
That too.
Hip-hop got me into James Brown because back in the days, a lot of hip-hop artists were sampling a lot of James Brown.
Marley.
Marley Marl.
He was the best out of them.
He really was the best. Ultra Mag. And said G and them, I think, samples from James Brown a little bit.
Yeah. BDP.
BDP. I mean, just the list goes on. Even Premier started out with some James Brown. I mean, it just...
I dare you to find one hip-hop record without any James Brown samples on it.
Yes.
Any.
And
at least one.
Exactly. And that's how I got into James Brown. So when I started hearing those samples on those hip-hop tracks... I was like, I gotta check the original and see how they flipped it, and that just got me into the music. So that's how I got into James Brown. So this is our James Brown episode. We're gonna really just kick it off. Mr. B Dub, what's your first favorite James Brown record?
For my first one, Maceo and All the Kingsmen.
Wow.
Funky Music Machine.
Wow.
This one is the UK press. The American press has Exlo right here, right there. Exlo and well, I don't know about Exlo, but Mojo did a lot of reprint of American first pressings, like Cool and the Gang. You'll see that on Mojo for their is it Live at PJ's LP? Yeah. But anyway, this is the UK press. It's a lot cheaper than the American press, just good quality, and keeping. And
is there any standout cuts on there that you like on this album?
Yeah, I mean, it's not, from listening to this, it's not as funky. It's funky. Let me correct myself. There is a lot of stuff, you know, when you think James Brown, and see, let me say, for me, when I listen to music, I listen to stuff from the point of view, has this been sampled or will it be sampled? And there are some moments on here to be sampled. I like their cover of the Beatles, Something. But as far as James Brown albums go, when you think back, like, okay, all the known samples and stuff, this doesn't appear at the top of the list. It's a little bit more subdued on the funk.
Okay.
But it's definitely a great listen.
Okay.
And, you know, with the right chops and stuff, you can make it as funky. But
nice.
I like it.
All right, let me start off with my first favorite James Brown record album. Right here. The Popcorn. James Brown. Woo! What can you say about this album? What can you say about it? I mean,
tell me.
I mean, because it's so ill. I mean, Soul Pride's on here.
Pete Rock.
Right? Soul Pride, which is a famous James Brown record and Ultimate Breaking Beat, I believe, too.
Yeah, that's on there.
And he got that on here. He has The Chicken, which was sick.
Who sampled that?
I believe Big Daddy Kane.
What
if
song?
I'm not mistaken, I believe that he came on the second album.
Mr. Welfare?
Mr. Welfare.
Okay.
I believe.
I thought that was
And that song is so dope.
Da-da-da-da.
The chicken, the chicken is crazy. And also, family, he has a record in here called In the Middle. Real dope.
Boom.
And then you got, I even like A New Shift too. That was good too. But the whole album is sick. And this is one of my favorite James Brown albums of all time, Mr. B-Dub. Of all time. And you cannot, to me, you can't even mention James Brown albums without mentioning this album. Period. And it's one of his King albums, so it was before Polydor days. But to me, like the King stuff is when you really like the end of the King era is when you really sort of get real funky.
68,
that bled into the Polydor
69.
era, and we're gonna get into the Polydor era in a little minute too. But
because Polydor was like what 71, 70, 71.
Yeah, I think the Polydor stuff, the early Polydor stuff, is real funky. But I think the end of the King era is when he just started getting real sick with it on the funk tip.
Yeah, like around 67, 68.
Exactly. So that's my first one, and I think it's a good start.
Well, since we're talking about the King era, I want to bring up my man Hank Ballard.
Oh, wow.
You can't keep a good man down.
Yeah, believe it or not, I don't even have this record yet.
A lot of people don't have this record. That's why it's on Everything OG. Hank was a band leader. He had the Hank Ballard and the Midnighters. And this one right here is How You Gonna Get Respect. That's the favorite joint off of here.
Right.
You probably heard it sampled before. It was talking about cutting your process off because this is around Black Power was taking hold in America. And, they were cutting out the processes and putting on, picking the afros out, And as you can see, he's sporting a nice little dude right there, But yeah, Hank Ballard. You can't keep a good man down.
Wow. I got to get a copy of that, man.
Oh, yeah.
You might have to go ahead and, show me that when you get your next copy. When you get your next one, that one's coming to me, right?
Next question.
Wow. All right, man. Well, next up for me is another James Brown classic, and that's It's a Mother. And,
do you know what he meant when he said It's a Mother?
Well, I assume he meant It's a Motherfucker, but...
No, It's a Mother was slang for ass. That's what it's slang.
Oh, wow.
So when he said a woman had a mother, it meant she had an ass.
Okay, I didn't know that. But I tell you what, though, I like about this album cover, though, for you beat diggers out there, my vinyl lovers, there's a portable turntable right here that they're jamming to. The girls dancing on the cover. It's a little portable turntable right here. This is like,
Damn, I got one with a better cover than that one, man.
Okay. Well, you know what? This just makes it more vintage.
Yeah, vintage with character.
Yeah, we're mad character, but I love the little portable turntable on there. I thought that was just so ill. And James Brown just sitting there laughing and giggling. You know what I mean? While the women are dancing,
that's
having
Afro James.
You know what I mean? Having a good time. And
if you ever see the 45s, you'll see James Brown with the Afro. When you get around the 70s, you have the process. Yeah. I guess he said, damn that, I'm putting the process back in.
Right. But what the key cuts on, this whole album is a banger. But I love Popcorn with Feeling.
Brand New being, right?
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, they killed that. And even, Heavy D, Pete Rock, I think, sampled it for Heavy D too, for the interludes on Blue Funk also. But just the Mother Popcorn, Mashed Potato Popcorn, this album is just a killer. And it's one of my favorite James Brown albums. I think it's a must-have. If you collect James Brown albums or don't collect James Brown albums, it's a must-have, period. So that's my second favorite James Brown album of all time. And what you got next, Mr. B-Dub?
We still on King. Bill Doggett. Honky Tonk Popcorn.
Wow, that's a good one.
Man, this, I'll say, is the only good Bill Doggett record.
Shots fired.
I'm not saying he's a bad musician, man, but, everybody wants this for one reason, and one reason alone.
Why is that?
Honky Tonk Popcorn.
It is a dope cut. But who do you think used it best in hip-hop? To me, it's the Beat Nuts.
That's the only answer.
Okay.
Who else are you going to say?
Did anybody else? I think somebody else. I've heard one other person, like maybe one or two other groups use it before. I can't.
Who do you?
The names.
Yeah, exactly. That's why, because the beat nuts freaking the best. You know, but I went through so many Bill Doggett albums, and the other one that says Honky Tonk, trying to find this. But this is before the internet.
That happened to me too.
You know, and trial and error, and you know. I also have the 45. I didn't want to pull it out and really stunt, but I got the 45. But I went through so many 45s trying to find that one because there's other honky tonk 45s by Bill Doggett that ain't the lick.
Well, here's the thing about that. The 45 also, just a little small antidote. There's two 45s of this, of the Honky Tonk Popcorn, and one has part 1 and part 2, and one just has part 1. And fortunately, but I first got the part 1 with just the part 1 on both sides. And that's cool.
Yeah, because one of them doesn't have the full sample,
that's cool,
right?
But the one with just part 1 on both sides doesn't have the sample the Beatnuts used.
Okay, yeah.
That's on part 2.
Yeah, so, I don't have that one. I got
so when I first got it, I was like, I finally got my Beatnuts. I finally, captured the Beatnut sample.
Consolation prize.
Right? I finally and I went home, played it. I was like, ooh, Psycho Les. Ooh, Juju, I want to hear you, baby. And it wasn't on there. I was like,
keep digging. You'll find
what happened? Well, yeah, I mean, well, hold on. I got the album now.
Oh, okay.
This is Mr. Everything OG, you know what I'm saying? What you talking about?
A minute ago, you was asking me for this.
Actually, it was Hank Ballard. I was asking for.
Oh, was it? Clap back.
But anyway, Bill Doggett, that's a great choice. Great album.
Sir.
Great James Brown production. It's amazing. Next up for me is a classic, obviously, but this is King era, like you say.
Maybe King had the best James Brown.
Ooh.
I mean, so far that's all we've been pulling.
That's a debate. but I don't know what to say other than this. This album right here, Young Mr. B-Dub, is phenomenal. And it was a different turn and twist for James Brown at the time. Because he infused not only his funky stuff, but he started like playing with different type of sounds.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of like added like some psych sounds to it too, with the
kind of like some psych jazz.
Yeah, you know what I mean, some psych jazz type sounds, and the keyboards that they were using and stuff, organ. It was a different type of keyboard for James Brown at the time. I think that had to do a lot with the addition of Dave Matthews to his band, but still, it's amazing, people. And this record right here is called "Show Is Funky Down Here." And
I remember that album.
Woo!
That album.
Woo-hoo-hoo! And I first learned about this album through Biz Markie. This is back in like 90. Mr. B-Dub, I want to say 92, 93 maybe. I want to say, because we was hanging out with Biz back in the day. For you West Coast LA heads, The Good Life. Y'all remember The Good Life back in the days? This is before Project Blow, and a lot of LA groups, LA MCs and rap artists came out of there. I mean, out of The Good Life. As a side note, it was a small little cafe where they had open mic nights, and rappers could come in and display their stuff on open mic nights, and a lot of famous groups like Jurassic 5 came out of there.
Born a Law
came out of there. Skilo, I wish I was a little bit taller. I mean, he came out of there. And even with the biggest director in the game right now in movies came out of there, Miss Ava DuVernay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she was a rapper before she was a director.
Really?
Yeah.
She got bars?
Mad bars. She was sick.
Wow.
And,
did not know that.
Yeah, and she came out of there. But anyway, one day Biz was there, and we was all talking about records and stuff. He was like, "Yo, Show's Funky Down Here is a James Brown record y'all should get." He was telling me, Cut Chemist from Jurassic 5, and another couple of cats in the circle. And from there, I just remembered that name.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I gotta look for this record. Show Is Funky Down Here. And I finally found it years later. Because at the time it was tough to find.
Yeah.
And I found it years later, and I was amazed how incredible the production on this album is. Not to mention, I found out that and Biz didn't tell me this. I found out, like, just playing the record, that out of nowhere, I hear this little loop come in, and it's like, and I was like, what the? Is that Brand Nubian?
That was my introduction to the album.
I was like, is that Brand Nubian?
Which came out first, Brand Nubian or the Tribe use of the sample?
The Brand Nubian.
Okay.
That was 91, 92. Tribe was 93.
Okay, yeah.
And Tribe...
Damn, it seemed like the 90s was so long ago.
And the Tribe sample, you're right. They it's a Tribe Called Quest sample on his album too. Lyrics to Go sample.
The Brand Nubian is the...
This is the one that everybody wanted.
Yeah.
And but shout out to Tribe and Q-Tip, but they flipped that though. I can't. But
because I want to say I was in New York, but then Brand Nubian didn't come out till, well, actually, you know what? I was living in New York then, because I moved to New York in '95. That's when I finally got a copy of Show It's Funky Down Here.
Okay.
Because that's when we found out what the sample was. I think they might have played the original on the Stretch Armstrong show. And then it was like, oh, snap. Then, they let a little information out.
So it took you a while, too?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Because I wasn't the only one that took a while to get this record?
the only one.
Okay, I just want to make sure, because I don't want to be alone in that box.
Nah, in the 90s, it wasn't no Google. It wasn't no who sampled. It wasn't none of that type of stuff. You got lucky if the label, the cassette or CD said the, artist credit, and maybe it said the publishing credit, but you were on word of mouth and asking and just, like you said, beatboxing to people and see if they could recognize the tune. And
or just being home playing records and then just pop up out of nowhere. That happened to me a lot with records back in the day.
That's how a lot of us made our bones. I mean, nowadays I cheat and I go to who sampled instead of
I do too.
But
yeah, that's one of my favorite James Brown records of all time. Next up,
I Believe That's Me. BLDNG, BLCK, Get on the Symphony. My next one is Food for Thought, Pass the Peas. This album here, I mean, the standout joint is Pass the Peas. If you're familiar with Heavy D, Overweight Lover in the House, or Rakim, I Ain't No Joke, you know this record, you know this sample. And it's hard pressed to say who used it the freshest.
I gotta say Rakim.
He made it sound the illest.
I gotta say Rakim.
He made it sound the illest. With Heavy D, he made you dance to it.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true, but Rakim's rhymes was so ill.
Yeah.
Especially at that time.
You can't just dance to the rhymes.
Okay, all right.
The beat.
All right,
Imagine he did it a cappella versus over the beat. How
you got me?
You know what I'm saying?
You got me, but it was still dope.
And then, Give Me Some More, which if you've heard the new Tribe record, the little that's a little interlude from there. And
but isn't the grunt on this album?
No, that's the grunt is on the JBs.
Yeah, I thought the grunt was
on
this
the
album. Yeah, right here, the grunt.
Oh, duh. It is on here. Duh.
Yeah.
Well, if you know Rebel Without a Pause, there you go, the grunt. But escapism. King Heroin. I mean, you put this on, ain't nothing skippable on this.
Crazy album. Crazy album.
And I found this. Can't remember where I found it at, but I found it though. I mean, I found it in the field though.
Great pick.
Oh, and this is on Polydor. This is this is start of the. Well, I don't know if this is exact album.
Well, actually, it's on. It is on, but People, right?
Yeah, People, Polydor. Yeah,
Polydor's the right. Well, one of James Brown's labels. Excuse me.
Yeah,
he had about 30 labels for tax write-offs, but we'll let that go for now, right?
Well, I ain't gonna speak on that man's finances.
Well, he passed away now, so
hey man. Again.
Well, they brought it up in the movie. If you saw the movie, But anyway,
I'm not gonna talk about that man's finances.
Anyway, they say he buried all his millions in the ground in
Somebody
the back of his house.
Overstepping the line.
I thought you heard that. He buried the money in the ground.
I heard
you heard that
like
story
that.
before, though.
Hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil.
Moving right along.
How dare you put that on the Godfather's name? Blasphemy.
We got this record right here. It's one of my favorite James Brown records of all time.
Ooh,
The Payback.
that might be my favorite as well.
And this record speaks for itself.
I would dare to say Payback is my favorite James Brown song. Period.
Ooh, that's a tough one, but I would have go venture to say it's definitely my top 5.
You put that on and you don't move, you just dead. Put you on the ground. You ain't got no pulse.
I agree, and this album right here, Family, is amazing. Obviously, the Payback is a standout cut.
Man,
obviously.
I'm mad.
But I mean, hold on.
I want to get up and do the camel walk.
Hey, hold on.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Don't wreck it. But you be fair though. Payback is a standout cut. We know that.
Yeah.
But Mind Power is dope too.
Oh yeah.
Mind Power is dope too.
That's the De La Soul sample, right?
Yeah, Mind Power is dope too, and I like Shoot Your Shot as well.
That son.
So I mean, this album is a classic. I mean, it's a must-have in any collection.
Stakes is high.
Mm-hmm.
Dilla freaked that to combine Ahmad Jamal and James Brown.
He killed it.
This is before Serato.
He killed it.
So you had to have ears.
He killed it. But this is a legendary album, and the first, I mean, honestly, I think if you're a true digger, you have to have at least 3 to 4 copies of this album.
That is correct.
And I don't even know how many copies I have now. I mean, every time I see this song, I buy it.
Unless it's beat up.
Oh, yeah, well, if it's super beat up, I don't buy it. And if
it's missing one of the records, for years I didn't know it was a double record because my old man, he only had the first record, Payback. So I never knew. Wow. It was another disc in there. I didn't read this stuff, man. I just looked at the pictures and played the record. And it wasn't until I think I got my own. It's like, wait, it's a second disc? And then I heard the other stuff. I was like, oh, all these years. The same with another James Brown record.
Well,
Hell.
I mean,
he only had one disc, the one with Papa Won't Take No Mess.
Right. Well,
so I didn't know about the other one.
Well, anyway, Payback, one of the best James Brown albums of all time, and I definitely advise you to buy multiple copies of this just because. If you know what I mean, just because. What's next in your list, sir?
I got an honorable mention.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? I'll save the honorable mention.
Save it. Wow.
I'm save it.
What you got?
I'm going to bring I Need Help. Bobby Bird.
Okay.
Bobby is underrated. You know him as a James Brown frontman and the voice on some of his songs. I Keep On Doing It.
Yeah.
But
get involved, that guy.
Yeah, get him to it, get involved. Here's another king banger. But this one right here is famous for the Just Blaze produced You Don't Know by Jay-Z.
Wow.
And
I forgot that was on there.
Man.
Just killed it too.
Yeah. I think. But
yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good album.
I mean, there's other good songs on here, but that's the one.
Hey, a nice one right there. You can't beat that. And shout out to Just Blaze for chopping that sample up very nicely.
And this is my honorable mention. I Need Help, Bobby Bird.
That's your honorable mention, or did you save it?
Make an honorable mention.
Okay. I'm gonna do an honorable mention real quick before I do my last one. Got a couple of little jitty joints. This is my honorable mention right here.
Good foot.
Good foot. And this, I like this album.
Again, that's Afro James.
You know what I mean? It's not, it's not in my top, but it's definitely an honorable mention because there's a couple of songs that I like a lot. Get on a Good Foot is a great record on here. Parts 1 and 2, obviously, and then Cold Sweat, the updated version, is on here. But I love the Funky Side of Town. Funky Side of Town is such a classic James Brown funk banger. And it's underrated to me because you don't hear a lot of people talk about that song. You know what I mean? Like, you never hear people bring up that record. They don't bring it up. But dope song, dope album. And you know, it's definitely a James Brown must-have. And this is a little honorable mention for me. It's not on my top James Brown albums, but you know, but it is something that I do like to listen to from time to time, and I definitely recommend it.
That brings me to Marva Whitney.
Nice.
It's my thing. And this is the German 72 pressing. I learned about this record from my favorite group at the time, EPMD. You know.
You got lost of words almost.
Yeah, because I mean, you know, Marva, let me see. I think what else is on there? I believe Unwind Yourself. A lot of you know that from the 45 King, 900 number that you used to see on MTV Raps, Ed Lover Dance, or the DJ Cool, Let Me Clear My Throat. But that sample's on here. And It's My Thing. Doom, doom, doom. It's my thing. I had the 45 of this originally for years. And I think maybe last year I just recently got the LP. But I'm glad to add Marva to my collection. It's my thing.
Dope.
And this too is on King.
Isn't what was the intro to Fuck the Police? Was that It's My Thing or what?
I think they sampled some of her voice in there. Yeah. That's
right?
it.
Yeah. That's the breakdown part, and then it comes into to bring the noise, right?
I forgot that. That is PE bass.
Yeah.
I kept thinking it was the grunt, but
we
no.
gonna do this. They always know this. Ha ha.
It's
Yeah, boy. Well, yeah.
I'm definitely gonna play that.
Dope. All right, moving right along for me. Back in the game is you already kind of mentioned it earlier. But this might be you already know. One of the best covers ever made too. James Brown Hell. And
I used to be scared of that record as a kid, man, because it said hell on it, and we couldn't cuss. That was a cuss word. So I'd be like, oh man, Pastor James Brown, HE double hockey sticks.
I mean, the record cover alone is so sick because he's like telling a story for these pictures on here of what was going on at the time, and out of gas, and so the shortage on gas
but even the devil
Yep.
had to bear witness that he is the Godfather of soul.
Yep. That's because he's the Godfather. It's right there.
Yeah.
And this album basically, Cold Blood is on here. That's a dope song. But obviously the standout cut on here, and the one reason why people buy this album is because of a song called "Papa Don't Take No Mess." And when you're talking about the best,
I won't say the one reason.
Well, the main reason. The main reason.
It's one of the main reasons.
One of the main reasons why they buy this record because of Papa Don't Take No Mess. And when you said earlier that Payback was your favorite James Brown record, I think it's between Papa Don't Take No Mess and the Payback. That's why I wasn't totally with you, even though I'm with you. But
I can respect that.
But this Papa Don't Take No Mess, you put this on at any club party, it sets it off nicely.
No, ain't nobody dancing to Papa Can't Take No
I've
Mess.
seen people just murder this on the dance floor. Are you crazy?
Yeah, ain't nobody dancing to that. No, that's one of the ones you bop your head because it's too slow.
No. It still got a nice
Instagram.
It has a nice groove to it. It got a nice groove on it.
Are people dancing to Papa Don't Take No Mess?
Yes, they are.
Leave a comment.
Yes, they are.
They're dancing to the Vapors.
I DJ'd this. I TJ with this song not too long ago.
They're two-stepping.
And it set it off.
They're two-stepping.
Of course, they wasn't doing
but they ain't getting busy.
It wasn't funky chicken time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
There was definitely two-stepping to this.
That's
and it was
if
nice.
I was a DJ, that'd be like a transition, like to let the people catch their breath and cool out, get the girls number.
To be fair, at that point, it was the first record we played.
Okay, warm up.
So it was
they ain't running to the dance floor.
But people, as we played it, people was running to the dance floor because they knew we was about to just set it off. So this was a set-off record, and that's what I meant by you put this on, and it's got to be it sets the mood off nicely. You know what I mean? All right, that's my opinion.
We'll have to try it out and see. DJs out there, let us know if you play it, how it goes.
What you got next for your last James Brown record for the day?
Well, normally we do 5, but I'm gonna go ahead and do an extra one. Mr. James Brown, Getting Down to It. And I found this record in '95. Shout out to my man DJ Squeeze. It was in his father's record collection, and I put it on. and didn't think much of it. Then got to the last song, and I heard something familiar.
What'd you hear?
Boom, 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 boom,
Okay.
boom, boom. And I was like, wait a second, is that what I think it is? and you know, I had 2 speakers, so I could hear the bass line on one and the drums on another. So I played with the balance knob.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, back then it said balance. Nowadays it'll say pan on your stereo, but back then it said balance left and right. And lo and behold, drums was on one side, the bass line on another.
Wow.
And in case if you haven't figured it out by now, "You Treat Me Right" by Chubb Rock used this. And those are drums and the bass line.
Mm-hmm. But
this isn't the only version of it. This is just the version that I was able to find.
yeah, this is the version I was able to find. You know what I'm saying? Little Stuntville. This is the D. Felice Trio in Heat. And there was a time, like you just said, is on this album too. And you could debate which version you like better.
I had the 45 of that one.
Okay.
On the 45,
actually, the 45 version is different than the album version now.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't sound panable on the 45.
Yeah, the 45 version is a little different. And this version is definitely funky. I believe that Chubb Rock did use the James Brown version though.
Howie T, shout out to Howie T.
But
Hitman.
But this is a good version too. One more time, D. Felice Trio and Heat. And shout out to my boy James for hooking me up with this, man. But anyway, so
any final words?
Yeah. You know, I'm just gonna say that thank you for tuning in. We've been getting a lot of great comments on the show, and once again, we're just gonna keep hitting you up with bangers every week. And shout out to James Brown. We love you, the Godfather of Soul.
Long-lasting legacy. Without him, there would be no funk.
Yes. And once again, my name is Deviant the Digger, Mr. Everything OG.
And I'm the B-Double. Peace. Action.
What's up, family? Welcome to Everything OG.
Action.
What's up, family? Welcome to Everything OG. You know, this is the crate digging show, the beat digging show. Everybody